Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Hope everybody had a solid day, guys. Today there was, the community was mostly only 17% red. We had most of our focus was on Tesla today, with which we are going to recap. I also recapped it yesterday, but we'll recap it again. Then, we'll recap some other trades as well. So, before I start, let's just do a quick introduction for anybody who's new to the community. All these trade recaps and teachings are from any trades that I share on Twitter, I share on YouTube, or any trade, swing investment ideas, or day trades that we talk about in our, in my previous YouTubes or community. So all our setups are repeatable setups. We do not trade random. We trade off a repeatable, consistent trading system that thousands of traders across the world use for a consistent trading. We only trade the setups that time tested, that we know are going to work. There are 15 or 16 setups that we trade off, and that's what we discuss in our these recaps videos as well. Every morning my team is up a few hours before the market open. Try right, before half an hour, 20 minutes before the open, I try to share the full game plan with the community. This was the game plan for today. Para, CCL, NCLH, Mara, Myrna, Tesla, Boeing, Netflix, CrowdStrike. There's a bunch of plays on our watch list today, but the main one out of the watch list was a Tesla, which was definitely a nice mover. So there was Netflix, also a good mover from our game plan. In addition to that, we also share our daily levels. So you can see these are for SPY, QQQ, IWM, and the plays that we play every day, irrespective of the news or not. They really worked out very nice on a trend day. For example, we'll talk about the SPY, QQQ breakouts today, how we longed it all day. We look at Apple, we look at the Apple trade based upon our breakout levels, how that worked out, and then we also have something we call as our day 2, day 3 setups. We focus on. I did a webinar on this. These are repeatable setups. These are the so CHWY was a nice from a day 2, day 3 setups. We also share crypto trades, coin MSTR. If anybody interested to trade these setups when Bitcoin is strong or weak, and we can trade those setups. Anyways, and then I'm usually on voice first 2-3 hours of the market open, guiding everybody through the market, telling them what I'm trading, any trades, and yeah. So that's the introduction for the community. Let's start with the first trade of the day. So today I'm gonna start with the SPY QQQ, right? So Powell was speaking this morning. So first of all, we are ready to see what's going on, what's the macro event, what's on the calendar. So Powell was speaking, and we had this gap, right? So you see this gap. So as soon as the market opened, it turned from bearish to bullish. It went into the gap. So it went into the gap. So as soon as I have that happened, I told the community that we are going into the gap, right? So I told that bullish into the gap, bullish for long scalps, because it's bullish. It's filling the gap. The target is always the gap fill. So same for QQQ. QQQ was a little different because once it filled the gap, it continued to even push higher than the gap, right? So that was fine. That was a morning long trade. So I told everybody, make sure you take some profits on the gap fill. QQ is stronger than SPY. And then after the 10 a.m., the job report was out, right? We were watching it cautiously. And then we started to flag here. Then we started to flag right here. That was the flag, right? So you see this, right? This action, the wicks. If I take everything off here, then maybe you can see it more better. So this action that I'm talking about. So this is the flag, right? So this was the flag that was setting up. We call it 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. setup is the breakout. So that's the setup we talk about. So we want to look at the whole timeline of this setup. I even tweeted about it, right, when Powell was speaking, and after he spoke, and you see this flag, right? So this was the flag, and this was what I was talking about in the community, that we can trade this long breakout. And now you can see this flag trying to break out, breaking out. You see the breakout. You see the breakout right here. This flag, right? So watch it, right? I'm showing you before and then after, And then we still had room on ATR. It was only 80% ATR on Qs, it was 67% ATR on SPY, and then look what happens, right? Then we go higher, right? Then it's 95% ATR. It makes nice little cup here, nice little cup here, breaks down, reclaims 512, and then we continue to push, right? So here's, you see, right out of the another flag, we were forming another flag, and there was another breakout out of the another flag. And all day long, there was no short in the market, right? It was all day long. So of course your initial profit you take here, then you get back in when they reclaim they reclaim this the 512 clouds. And once this is happening, when the price is over yesterday's highs, over the pre-market highs, of course, then there's no chop. Somebody was telling me here, I mean, I've been teaching, I've done so many videos to help you understand when it's chop, when it's trend. This was trend, right? So this was trend, this reclaim, this cup was trend, right? So all this tells you it was trend. We are over the opening price, we are over the opening 10 a.m price, we are over the yesterday highs. So especially when you're over the yesterday highs, it's most likely, we push higher, and it's a long. So we were long on QQQ. I told everyone as well in the community that it's all bullish for long scalps. Hold the longs into 10 a.m. right, and then later in the day we talked about this breakout. I mean, I had a bunch of price alerts going in on the breakout that we were talking about. So anyways, so that was the market. So that was our long trades all day, the morning trade, the midday trade, and you just need to identify this chop and trend. So definitely there was a trend in Qs, so I was trading Qs, um, and the reason the Qs was strong was because a lot of the other names like Apple, Tesla, they were strong. NVIDIA didn't really join, right? But still everything else was strong in the large caps, so, and at Netflix was strong, so that was helping the SPY QQQ push. Anybody who was trying to short SPY QQQ today definitely lost a lot of money, but we don't do that. We stay long, so that's my guidance all day in the community. You can see that on SPY and QQQ long. Those nice trades for a lot of traders. That's how we were. By the way, we were only like we were 74% green in the community today, only 17% red and 9% flat. So we really did good today. And let's go to the other main trades now. So the first one we're going to discuss is, this was a main play yesterday as well, main play today as well, paying the community all day, was our Tesla. I mean, I was literally guiding all day on Tesla trade. Let's see if I can show you guys everything that we were doing on Tesla. So Tesla, by the way, if anybody didn't, you guys didn't see my investment article that I posted on Benzing, this was my article on great risk reward for long-term investors. And that time, Tesla was way down, way down, and it was at like 150s, and that's where I gave this investment idea. You can read this article, you can go in Benzinga, and it has really worked out for all my followers. And because so you see that 135.50 favorable risk reward, and here we are, 230 bucks. Already a great investment for everybody, long-term investors from this technical level. So anyways, so that was a lot of traders were thanking me today for that, but that was, it was just a waiting game. Anyways, we talked about in detail about the weekly breakout. I don't want to go back again there. You can see that, you can watch yesterday's video how we broke out of the weekly. And I mean, I can go back and just show you the tweet again, where maybe I can, just maybe I do it for some new traders. But if I show you this, right, so let's see if I go here. So let's see if I can show you right here. So let's see. So you see that what Tesla was doing. We talked about it yesterday, right here, right? The 200 breakout, 50 EMA, 200 psychological breakout. You see that right here, 196 price. What happens now? 200, 208 breakout, 209, and today 231. You see this was the key, this 50 EMA 200 psychological breakout. We already knew that, I already told that, but anyways, that's good enough. We don't need to keep talking about it every day, but let's talk about how we nailed it today. So what did we do? So as soon as open, it was a big gap up, so we needed to see that, are we going to fade, are we going to pull back, or are we going to hold the gap? We have to identify our risk, because you see that we have this big room to the EMAs or even if yesterday's highs. So we have this big level. So when we were watching Tesla initially, right, we were watching this. I mentioned to everyone 218 buyer, right? 218 buyer is when I mentioned on the voice that there is a buyer. I was watching. I didn't take this trade versus 218 right here. A lot of traders in the community, most of them took it because they were here, they were listening to me talking about the buyer. You can read on the tape, what does the buyer mean, how do you find the buyers. So the finding the buyers is your candles tell you that. So watch here, candle, bearish candle held, and then another held, didn't break this, pulled back, held. So this area was holding, and then this candle comes out, and then that tells me that we're going to push higher, because now we have clear defined risk in this area right here. We have clear defined risk right that area. So that we can risk for our longs right here. You see that, right? Clear defined risk. And then comes our pre-market high, flag breakout. That's what I talked about. It's a flag. Let's see if I can show you guys here. So flag. So yeah, so that was a flag breakout that I was showing on my live stream on Tesla on that. And that's where we longed it. I actually longed right before the flag, and then we started pushing. And then it was all about the targets. The first target I gave was 225, and then 225 target met. Next target was 228. We met that target as well. Then I used my profits. I bought 230s. I think I bought it at like $3. I told everybody I bought the 230 calls. They went from $3 to $5, and we took the profit. And then we were all out then when this 512 broke. But here's what really happened. It reclaimed, and then I was on the trading floor, and I was telling everybody that we have reclaimed and we're gonna push to 230 again. We're gonna push to 230 again on Tesla. So let me see if I can show you here. Okay, so yeah, so here you go, right? Going back to 230, and I did talk about let's see, defended 512s, right? Because it broke and reclaimed. If you get out, you get back right back in, because there's a buyer here. You can see the 10-minute candles holding this area, right here, this area. You can extend it back, and you can see that. That's why you need support and resistance. Although it faded a few points after breaking 512s, but you get back in. So that was another trade we did. I told everybody 512 reclaim alert. Actually, there was an alert that went through. Where was it? Yeah, so this was a 512 break, and and then pushed it. That's fine. But then there was a flag breakout. You see that flag breakout or 207? It was right here, and that's when I was talking about the target to 230 on Tesla, right? So 230 target, 230, and then it went to 230 again. And then I told everybody to swing rest of it, because it's closing at highs. It still has potential to move higher. There's a downtrend line. If we break that tomorrow, we might push to 235 or 240. So we'll see how that goes. It's a very short day tomorrow, so it will be interesting. But the point is, this is how we traded Tesla whole day, right? So you can see the timestamp guidance, and a lot of thing was on my voice, and so I couldn't show you that. But that was basically the trade all day on Tesla. We met all the targets. It was a beautiful trade for us. So next one, we're going to talk about SMCI. Let's go to SMCI and see how SMCI was doing. So market was strong, but NVDA was not. But SMCI was strong. It was going with the clouds. Let's go back and check our levels on SMCI. Our levels was 813, 832. Those were the two levels that I gave. But this is where the SMCI triggered long, right here, right? This area that was over the clouds. That's where it triggers long. And the target I gave everybody was 830. And then let me see if I don't have that new indicator here. So if I go there, let's see, I can show you that MTF clouds. Yeah, so yeah, this one. So you see that there was a 40, 50, 5, 50 EMA, 20 EMS as well. That was the key. I told everybody if 840 breakouts, we are going to push to 850. And then we did break out 840, and we did touch our 850 target. So all the targets since morning that I gave everyone met. You see the levels, you take the levels long, use the clouds to long, and then 830 was the first target, 840 was second target, and then we broke the 512s and we were done for the day. But you can clearly see when the clouds turn bullish, You can take long here, put your risk right here on the 1 hour channel, 1 hour support, and or 800, right? If you're longing 8 to 8, just put your risk is 8. It's 800 psychological trade as well. So, and market was strong. So that was a nice trade in the community on SMCI. I was on voice guiding through the SMCI trade. All right, let's look at another one, NVO. I was short biased. It was on our plan this morning. So I told everybody that NVO bearish bias to short the pops to the cloud, right? So let's look at NVO. um, After the initial drop, it kind of held, right? I was a little short here, but when it started to make a hammer move here, so I just took I just, these candles that tell me that I need to get out, I don't need to wait. And then it pushed here, and of course when it turns 512, you completely get out. So that short didn't work, but we respect our system. We didn't hold the short till here and losing our whole account. We just got out when we got the first signal. So that was a loser. So Lily was another one which was actually worked for a bit. We were short on Lily at the open. I told everybody, and Lily did go on to drop to 880s. If I show you the 3-minute chart, you can see that when Lily did go on to fade till like 878s from 890s. I can show you the level that I gave everyone in the pre-market on Lily. So let's see where it was. No, it was not here. I mentioned on the voice, but if you watch my videos and my teachings, these are the two levels where you're short Lily. So that's why they were both short under the clouds. Let me see, might be the day one, day two. No, not here. But anyways, so that was the short on Lily. Nothing crazy, but we did take a long on Lily later in the day when we had a news alert on Lily. I tweeted about it as well, big when it was over the clouds, right? So that we have all the news boards in community which tells us this was a nice flag. So this is where you get out and you can always long, and this is another flag long setup on Lily, and then this is where the news hit, and it was a nice 10-point trade on the news as well. So let's go to the next. All right, let's look at CHWY. CHWY was also our news game plan play. So CHWY was let's see where our levels were on CHWY. It was a day two, right? So CHWY 25 was our support pivot to short under, and you can see as soon as it broke 25, it faded to 23.80, then faded to 23.60. So that was a nice $50, $60 fade to short it CHWY in the morning. After that, it went just the pop. It gave another drop, but when this happens, that's when you get out, break even, and just move on. And it didn't really do anything after that. It went into consolidation mode. Although we will watch the CHWY if it ever goes over 25 tomorrow again. We will watch that. So next one, we're going to look at AMD. So AMD was long all day. It was actually the guidance on AMD was great guidance on the trading floor by RGV. Let me see if I can show you guys on RGV, one of our senior traders in the community. He really did good. Yeah, I see him here. Yeah. So you can see that how he was talking about RGV. Let's see. So this was the setup. He recapped it, right? This 30, 40, 50 bounce. So this was the setup at the 30, 40, 50 bounce. Let's see here. So what did I say, right? I said 34, 50 curls, and that's our setup from the webinars. Additionally, it did pull back from daily 20, 21 clouds, and this is where you long it right here. That's what I told everybody. You see, timing was what? It was 10:57, 40 curl. That's, I covered this setup in the webinar. And then it was all about the targets. And once it broke these levels, right? My target I gave was 160 and 162. And I told everyone that once we break this, right, this one, multi-time frame EMAs from the daily chart, we're breaking out of the daily 50 EMA. You know how much I teach you about this again and again, how important the breakout of a daily 50 EMA is. You can look at that here as well. So once that broke out, there was no looking back. That's why I told everybody you can swing rest, right? So you see the breakout here 160s, and then you see the breakout of 50 EMA clouds, and the entry was right here with 3450 EMA. Great guidance in the community by RGV as well. It was a nice trade and still on watch. I don't really think we are done breaking out yet. NVDA still has that downtrend line, sorry, AMD, to get out of. So high watch tomorrow again on AMD. Just want to talk about our swing winner. That's the swing Ivan gave on Twitter a couple days back. It was Airbnb, right? So this was the setup yesterday that I shared with everybody. And when it dipped here at 150s, that's when I told everybody that's where you buy it, right? This is where you buy. And I can show you in our swing tracker. We were doing this. So this was swing, was Airbnb. You can see that our entry was 150, and we're already up 3% here on this trade on Airbnb. And I can show you the timestamped tweet as well, because these are the setups, right? This is the gaps repeatable setup. I don't know how many winners I have shown you guys on this gap trade on Airbnb, on like other trade other tickers, just like Airbnb, right? So let's see if I can show you here. So here was Airbnb. Actually, I just shared on it on 27th. So this was the setup I shared about, right? And then yesterday we pulled back here, and that said, I told everybody, look, we grabbed more on 155 yesterday. I mean, of course, I was live in the community, so I told everybody in the community that's where you buy it. And then today it's just went up $4, right? The options are up nicely. If you're trading options, your shares up nicely. You risked like $1 and you made $4 so far. It's a really good risk reward. Now your stops, you can take some off. Stops are break even. Our target is 156 here, right here, and then we'll see if we fill the full gap. But it's a winning trade now, so it's a winning swing trade for us now. So that's Airbnb. Just wanted to recap the gap swing winner. These gap setups are so nice, right? I'm not going to cover other gap swings like MDB and all those, which I covered yesterday when MDB moved through 270 for us on that gap swing. All right, I'm gonna just talk about some other plays. I haven't, these cruise lines are being getting hammered because of the hurricane, right? And but this morning it was on our watch list. We had few levels set: NCLH long over 1770, CCL long over 1760, and it did actually give us a nice trade for a few points, and then it pulled back. So you just get out break even, right? So there's, but CCL actually moved much better from 1770 to like $18. I mean, this stock has barely 60 cents ATR, so it's just a cent scalps, nothing special there. But again, this one also you have to get out break even because it failed to hold the calls, and you just get out. I'm not really a big fan of small range stocks, but definitely if you're risking 10 cents and making 20 cents, that's fine. Let's go to the next one. So talking about NVIDIA, I ignored it all day. The only setup that I gave community today on NVIDIA was where was it? Let me see if I can show you guys. It was this setup, right? So this tight setup that I shared. Yeah, I shared on Twitter as well. So you see that, right? This tight setup, and like I think I shared in the community somewhere. Let's see if I can show you. So yeah, so this was this breakout setup we were discussing in the chart ideas, and you see your risk is right here, and then you risk that, and then your target was 123. We met 123 target, so it was just you're risking what, nothing, like 30 cents here, and you're trying to make $1. That's a good risk reward trade, right? But was definitely choppy today, Nvidia, nothing special, but just wanted to show you this midday setup, right? You see this before, then you see this after. You already know after it went nicely. The options moved nicely, of course. Nothing else major to recap, because today's big winner were of course Tesla, SMCI, and those ones which made everybody's day. But I'm gonna look at these home builders which were short the pops today. There was DHI, there was Lennar Homes, right? And I personally didn't trade it, but I just want to see this bearish buys to short the pop 136.50, 145s, and you see that 144s, and this rejected the clouds, you could short it, and then DHI rejected the clouds, you could short it. I don't really think a lot of traders traded this anyways, because we had such a solid day on our other trades. You see how the community was mostly green today, and because it was a bullish day, right? There was another setups like Netflix was good long over our pivots. You can see that once it broke, where is it, 675, 682s, then it was off to races, right? So then we had Google breakout over our levels. So you could trade anything, right? When market is bullish, you could trade anything. The Google was over 183.29, 185. So Google was very strong setup. This Google is actually set up for nice breakout here as well, right? So let's look at Apple. So Apple was also another great setup for us. Great setup. you can see that Netflix even had news as well. So you see how Apple was pushing over our this pivot 216 to 17.51. That's where you take long, and I was personally trading QQQs, but you could literally trade anything, right? So any setup you could trade, and tomorrow is going to be big breakout day, if the things don't really gap up, right? So it'll be interesting to see. And Amazon was a decent too. It didn't do much in the morning, but it did go later in the day, and all these were the same setting up for the same breakout. So we'll see. Short day tomorrow, holiday day after. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, like I said, there's not too much today, but hopefully you guys learned something from our Tesla and SPY QQQ long trades. All right, guys, take care. Later. Bye bye.